Yeah, it's a pretty spectacular looking site. We've been seeing this over Northern Europe for the last couple of days.
That's what we were just talking about down here. I'm sure they will be.
Yeah, typically we see them as a couple wispy looking things, but I've never seen anything that looks like this.
I mean, that's got a lot of baggage to it, don't you think?
Yeah, but I know you have an answer.
I think it's impossible to not believe in it. Of course, it's not that perfect, frilly bullshit you see in the movies. There, the fate comes from within. It's justified through their own thoughts. These people want something to happen, so when things go awry, they find every possible detail that could mean they're on the right path. The fate that I think, the fate that exists, is a daunting, scary thing. No matter what you do, you were supposed to do it. Go against what you think would have happened, bam, that's what you were supposed to do. That douchebag who cheated on you in high school, he was supposed to, and you were supposed to learn something from it.
So it's a positive thing?
No. It can be at certain times, but not every lesson makes you better. And not every time is there a lesson to be learned. Without sounding too negative, life isn't a bitch, fate is. Everything you've ever done and will do is not up to you. Of course, you can make choices to do certain things, but you were supposed to make those choices. I find comfort in it, knowing that even when I screw up, I was supposed to. It might not lead me to where I want to be. I'm probably not going to meet someone beautiful just because I got fired from my job on the right day. But I'm where I should be. I have no choice in what I could have done. It's static.
Tonight's biggest story, the multiverse collision that has sent the world into chaos.
We're still continuing to collect data. We've collected about 32,000 images.
A quantum multiverse. What exactly does it mean?
We don't know why. That's going to have to be investigated and looked into and to understand what happened today.
What will it cause?
And remember, we have 22,000 U.S. troops over there in the bases. So, yeah, it is a problem.
And what is going to happen to us?
국민 여러분, 주성환 박사입니다. 여러분이 요즘 들으셨던 뉴스들은 모든 게 다 사실입니다.
Telling the truth over there?
So if a problem occurs, we don't have the luxury of talking about it and debating what the right course of action is. We have to take action right away.
I'm here. I guess I'm all right, and my family's okay, so I've got rent to pay next month, so that's all I gotta worry about.
I'm just saying that you have no more of a clue than we do, so I don't know why you're going out telling people what they should do and what they shouldn't do when you don't even have a full fucking understanding
Nation
of what's
will rise
going
against
on.
nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines, there will be pestilences. Jesus is coming soon.
We're through probably the 5th time of you explaining this whole situation to us, and it's still beyond me.
I've exhausted my efforts. I mean, neither of you are in charge of anything having to deal with this.
My mom's calling me every hour, Cam. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to tell her. She's scared.
We're all scared.
Cut the pretentious scientific shit and just please, in an everyday way, explain what this means to us.
When it comes to us, I don't know.
When I go out there, is it gonna be some alien version of my friends that don't even recognize me?
No. The meshing with the other universe is much broader than that. The zones of the shifting superposition are based on continental positioning, maybe even hemispherical. As long as they're around here, they're from this universe.
Then it's all right. I mean, the first UN meeting is going to be interesting, but we don't have any ties outside of a sad but probable 30-mile radius. Everything's going to be all right. Unless you don't still have any extended family still in India, right?
What? No. I was born in Philly. I'm 45th generation American. I'm good to go.
It's not that simple, Val. You gotta understand, the effects of this are beyond the human understanding. Everything from language to the law of nature can and probably will be different.
Yeah, but that's for people above my pay grade to deal with. I'm just gonna hear about it on the news. As long as the people I love are the same, it'll be alright.
Kim, think about it. It's not some overwhelming hostility between us and them. They're going through the same shit we are, just as scared.
That's the thing. In their universe, they may already know and understand quantum sciences. They may be ready and willing to start a war. We don't know. There's no way to know.
Well, until we find out, let's settle with the solace that everyone we know is still everyone we know.
Shit.
What?
Val, it's okay. It's gonna be alright. I can explain it to you again. Remember, you said that. It's gonna be alright.
No. I just realized. Sawyer took that internship in Dubai. We didn't want to tell you after the breakup.
What, Sawyer?
No. No, the semester just started. You were just with him. He has to still be in the country.
When we went to the game?
Yes.
That was a bowl game, Kim. It was in December.
No.
He left a few days after New Year's.
No, No, he couldn't have gone. He couldn't afford it.
After you two split, he said he needed to leave, and that was his best chance. He left. I don't know what that means.
Kim.
Where's your mom keep the trash bags?
I'm sorry.
It's fine, just where does she keep them?
I know your heart was in the right place.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Nothing really matters for you.
Please don't say that.
Well, please don't do what you're doing.
I didn't need all the romance. I just don't feel it right now.
Son of a bitch. Cam, what do you mean you don't feel it? How are you doing this? I planned with your parents. I talked to Val to set up all this the way that you'd want. I bought all this shit and now... Why is it disheartening? Because like I said, nothing matters to you.
Nothing matters. Don't you see what I'm doing? I'm portraying emotions because I'm upset as to what's going on here.
Portraying emotions. God forbid that you lose the whole cynical, the world just isn't for me act. Cam, you have to allow yourself to feel, to love, to be fucking happy. You don't have to break everything down to their most fundamental aspect. Just be happy.
Not, though.
You're not?
No. Every time we're together, I feel like we're just wasting time. Like, look at what's going on, and we're just sitting there like we're all that we need, and I just feel like... I feel...
Embarrassed?
No, so it's not embarrassed of you, it's embarrassed of us, what we're doing.
Unreal. Embarrassed of us? You know, as a matter of fact, I take up about half of us. So as you can see, I'm pretty pissed. Oh, come on, Cam, you gotta say something. Explain this. Explain all of this. 5 years and now nothing? Nothing? I picked my school because of you. You helped my parents stay together. And now it's nothing. Taj will get my shit later this week. You can keep the macaroons. See you, Kim.
I just can't wrap my mind around it.
Without a doubt, you're positive that he left.
Yes.
His flight landed in Dubai, he got off the plane and ventured into the city.
I wasn't fucking there to make sure that he got off the plane and to welcome him to the country, but I'm telling you, he left.
How do you know he got on the plane?
Zay and I drove him to the airport. He wasn't reluctant, to say the least.
And when was I gonna be brought into the loop? He's my best friend.
He stressed to us to let people find out on their own.
I don't know how he's supposed to do that ever since he went off the grid. I can't even contact him like a normal human being, let alone let him find out he moved.
You drove him there?
Yes. What? Cam, I didn't betray you. I helped out a friend. It wasn't an attack on you.
And Zay, you know he's been trying to get Sawyer out of the picture. I can't believe... Why didn't you tell me?
I promised him.
You promised me that we would always be straight with each other.
Cam, I never see you. You never leave the lab. When I do get to hang out with you, I'm not gonna bring up something that's gonna ruin our time together. This isn't on me. I couldn't stop him. You're the one.
Val, come on.
No,
Stop.
let her finish.
No, I was gonna say something totally out of line. It's not my place. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you, but I thought I was doing the right thing.
Cam, she thought she was doing good by you. Don't push your anger onto her.
My anger? You act like I'm the only one this affects.
No, you know damn well that's not what I'm saying, but she's not the reason all this is happening.
I would do anything to stop him now. I'm sorry, Cam.
I wonder if it's your God.
All things are.
Then why me? Why am I the one being punished? It doesn't make any sense.
What about all your deterministic shit? Why is this changing that?
It doesn't. I'm supposed to be here, I just don't know why.
Cam, you can't try to figure that out.
And it ain't just you, Cam. Families are probably split up. Sons, daughters, parents. It's some terrible shit that's about to happen.
What did Sawyer say when we broke up?
We didn't really touch on it.
Stop. Tell me.
It was some sincere stuff. He still cared about you.
We all know Sawyer. There's more to him when he talks.
He said you're the greatest thing that ever happened to him. He was just so pessimistic. He didn't feel like regular Sawyer. He talked about the rest of his life like it was...
written against him.
I've never seen him like that.
He had no aspirations for you two anymore. He had given up.
Why are you talking like he died?
I don't really see how...
No, you're talking about him in the past tense. He was. He's not dead. He is, he feels, he has. He's just not here, someone else is.
So is that one gonna like you?
He has to. If this deterministic fate brought you two together, the Sawyer that's here is connected to you.
No, it doesn't work like that. He's not connected to my Sawyer.
How do you know that? Look, I know that your knowledge here spans much farther than mine, but how can you know the religious breakdown of what's going on?
Maybe it's not religious.
You don't know.
It's not religious.
What about entanglement?
What about it, Taj?
On the slim information I picked up before switching majors, it was something I stayed interested in.
Cool.
Look, I'm not gonna be a blinded fool here, okay? Please explain.
When quantum particles are entangled, they lose their essential properties, basically becoming one.
Like conjoined twins?
Nah, say you have two dice that are entangled. You don't know which side they're on, but you open one side and you see it's a 4. No matter how far the other die is, whether it's 10 feet or an entire galaxy, it's gonna be a 4. They're attached, they have the same properties.
So why can't that work here, Cam?
We're not particles. We don't work like they do.
We do now.
Cam, in kind of a fucked up way that makes sense. These alternate versions of us, they're superimposed, correct?
Sort of.
So there's a quantum property. It's the only other one I know. So why can't we carry out entanglement?
It's not impossible with that in mind.
So if you and Sawyer are entangled, then the one on Earth is connected to you now.
Look, when things cool off and we figure out what's going on, that there aren't aliens over there, we catch the first flight to Dubai.
We owe you. I'm in.
We don't even know if he's in the city.
Screw it. I'll take our odds. I feel good about it.
It's supposed to happen. Why would we be having this conversation if it wasn't?
Nothing to lose.
So, not to backtrack or anything, but I totally pretended like I knew what was going on with that whole parallel universe thing.
How much acting?
Like, remember when I introduced you to that girl Cassie and you were suddenly a literary scholar?
Shit. Can't explain.
It's infinite, Val. Every single thing you have done has affected where you are right now. So there's a universe for you where you do something different at every possible junction in your life. Okay, which way did you take to get here?
The back way. New school lane to 214.
Okay, so theoretically, every turn you made, there's a new universe born from that action. So when you stopped, boom, another universe where you keep going. As you can imagine, these universes start to pile up since you're doing so many different things every day. The sum of that is a multiverse, filled with an infinite number of different but parallel universes.
So we collided with just one of them.
Sawyer, my prince, what on earth are you doing?
Well, my dear, I've taken up people watching. But as great as they make it out to be, it's downright depressing in this area.
What do you mean depressing?
I'm gonna end up sounding like a dick.
Stop. Tell me.
I just keep seeing people that I'm really glad I'm not.
Wow, you are a dick.
I'm serious. I just can't imagine these people getting out of bed in the morning. So many just unimportant lives.
And what are they thinking when they look at you during this candid yet depressing episode of People Watching?
Well, hopefully not that mentality. Doing all right. Dressed pretty well. Got a gorgeous but nosy girl by my side. And no children to scold publicly.
They're probably thinking, those kids have no care in the world, no children, no responsibility. What the hell are they trying to do other than taking up space with their probably cynical yet unimportant lives?
Okay, I apologize for putting hurtful thoughts into the world. Probably harming your vibe in the current moment.
I'm serious, Soy. What makes you think that their lives are of any less importance than ours?
I'm gonna sound like a dick.
Let's see if we can go 2 for 2.
Okay, it's not ego, because I know that's where you're gonna go right away. But I just get this sense that their lives aren't worth my time. I'm at school, spending time thinking about the things that they just take for granted every single day.
But we don't know that, though. All of them are dealing with shit every day that's gonna make them reconsider things they never thought of before.
Yes, but their thoughts are just so small and unimportant. There's no search for a universal truth.
Capital T on that truth, right?
And what are they thinking or doing that's gonna change all of mankind?
Humankind.
Humankind, or me, or you, or what discovery are they gonna make when figuring out how to pay rent this month?
Why are you so sure that there's some overarching issue that we all have to band together and change the world with?
We all exist in this one place. A god or a chemical explosion all put us here at the same time. Why else would we exist at the same moment?
True, but we all do have our very own consciousness, which, if we allow it, can help us find our own truth. Maybe that rent payment is an opening for us to learn from our mistakes and become better people. People who help each other on their journey towards acceptance and understanding.
If you use that Joyce quote, I swear.
A man of genius makes no mistakes, his errors are volitional and are the portals of discovery.
If you're going to use a pompous author's pompous quote to strengthen your pompous argument, switch it up. Maybe use some Faulkner next time.
I hate you.
have contact with the other side yet.
There's a ridiculous amount of variables. Radio frequencies, terrain, language, even the way they communicate could be different.
Hold on. You were just saying that they're just people, but with different circumstances. You're making them sound like fucking aliens.
We don't know.
Can you at least try to explain? I'm sick of being in the dark here. Give me all of the science that goes along with this tornado of bullshit.
It's quantum mechanics.
We went to the same school, Cam. I'm not an idiot.
Okay.
Well, to start at the beginning, we have the Big Bang. Or when God created the universe. It was such a sudden force that we're currently still trying to figure out what caused it. But nonetheless, at the moment, there was a rapid expansion. The universe exploded out and continued on to a point that we can only understand a fraction of how much exists. To jump ahead about as far as you can in a story, decades ago, a group of scientists figured out that the universe isn't just expanding, but doing it at a rate that's faster than ever believed. It's actually increasing. So why? Einstein gave us the best answer with his theory of gravity. He basically explained that there's this matter that exists within space, sort of an invisible mist, that gravity doesn't pull the universe to it, but does the opposite. It pushes it out, hence the expansion. So the scientists, who were actually astronomers, were figuring out basically how big of a role this dark energy plays, but they found this incredibly small number that led nowhere. Insert string theory, a necessary tool to use when trying to sound smarter than everyone else in the room. But to summarize the theory, it states that within objects you have molecules, and then subatomic particles, and then within those you have these tiny vibrating strings. The way they vibrate determines what they create, what type of particle they exist in. But the theory doesn't work. The math makes no sense unless we open our minds to something spectacular. Extra dimensions. These dimensions, along with the three we know and love, are packed in so small with these strings that we have no way of detecting them right now. But they affect how they vibrate. So if we knew how to measure these dimensions, boom, problem solved. We understand everything ever. But we don't. We just have a list of a ridiculous amount of shapes that could be, based on mass. Because of how many shapes there possibly were, one idea arose to explain. That idea is a multiverse, where each universe has one of these shapes, and it creates the matter that exists in said universe. So that really small number I talked about comes back and says that each universe's really small number is different and solely based on the shape of their strings. So why do we exist in this universe with this number of dark energy? Because the others, where it is bigger, the matter is repulsed from itself, and where it is smaller, it collapses on itself.
Why we're on Earth? Any other planet is too close or too far from the sun. It isn't sustainable.
Exactly. So this says that there is no chance of life like us existing anywhere else, which is comforting in a sense.
Thank God.
Sure. But with this being true and definite, a collision of two of these universes would be catastrophic. We wouldn't exist due to the clashing of the different laws of matter.
Well, we're still here and functioning.
Which leads us to believe the other idea of the multiverse, parallel universes. When they were doing experiments on light years ago, they found that there was a division in what they'd find. If they tested for light as a particle, they found particle information. But if they tested for light as a wave, they found wave information. It was in a superpositioning of both. So maybe in one universe it's a wave, and in the other it's a particle. This is extremely incomprehensible, so insert Schrödinger and his cat. I'm sure you've heard of it, a cat in a metal box we can't see in. One pedal it can push releases food and water, while the other releases poison. Two separate universes exist where one has an alive cat while the other has a dead one. Once you open the box, the universes collide into the one that you're observing.
The film you showed us?
Coherence! Because of the meteor, there was that incoherence where the group of friends was forced into a situation where another universe existed alongside theirs.
Exactly. I'm so glad you guys actually pay attention when I show you shit.
Occasionally.
Well, just like that dinner party, we're probably dealing with another universe that for some reason collided with us in a way that's almost exactly like how our deal is set up. The other half of the planet is from another universe. So it could be either of the situations I explained, but it makes sense that the one that exists is the latter, since, we're still here, which means that there's a Sawyer over there.
What's wrong with it? bringing a smile to my face and bringing the most handsome man in the world a small but ever so important warmth to his heart.
You are so caught up in yourself. But how many times do I have to go through my spiel? Ethnocentrism, centuries of violence and unethical policing, faulty logic. Must I continue?
Why is it when everyone accuses the church, they always forget the litany of good things that have come about?
That's wrong.
No, you never even touch it. You never even acknowledge all of the good things. The hope, the charity.
No, you used the word litany wrong. It's actually ironic because not only is it a negative term, but it's a term used in the church, like a procession that is used.
Cam, even without the English lesson, you knew what I was trying to say. Please just answer the question.
I had no idea what you were talking about. The wording was so grossly used that I was in the dark on the subject.
You obviously did know what I was talking about, since you knew that the gross word I used was so incorrect. You need to understand what I was trying to convey in order to know that it was incorrect. See? I'm actually an educated white male, which apparently doesn't exist in your world.
You're the stupidest person I've ever met. It's actually insane that you can understand me when I talk.
Could you just give it a shot? I know it goes against everything you've ever believed in, but it'd mean a lot to Mom and Dad to see that you're making an effort.
For them?
It'd mean a lot to me.
Fine. But not this week. I'm in no condition to go anywhere where there are more than like 3 people.
Deal. And, good point. You're appalling. Now, can you please look up a YouTube video of how to tie a fucking tie?
What is going to hurt? If he is there listening, then we have a good shot being in good graces and all. If he's not, nothing changes except she's got some solace among a massive pile of shit that's being thrown at us currently.
Why is it a he?
Not doing this.
We're eager to provide the coverage of what seems to be the first successful connection made with the opposite side of this inter-universal collision. After contact with the University of Massachusetts, it is apparent that at the eastern 30-degree longitudinal line is roughly where the meshing has occurred. Dr. James Ulabari of UMass has initiated a conversation with a representative from the Russian Federation's Quantum Science Division. Their phone call will be broadcasted in the next few seconds. Once again, thank you for choosing WBC News for your informational needs.
I just wanted to thank Dr. David Yegrov and his team for matching our effort in finding some sort of clarity amidst this chaotic period. It is greatly appreciated.
As to you, Doctor, we all are certainly looking for something to grasp at the current moment.
We've established a quick and concise testing module through the form of a questionnaire in order to form a base for where we both stand. If you do not mind, we'd like to begin.
Конечно.
The first question, Doctor, is simply, what year is it?
2017 год. Hopefully that lines up correctly on your side.
It does, in fact. Now, question 2. Who's the reigning monarch of the British Empire?
Queen Elizabeth, I believe. The second.
Excellent. Question 3. Who's the author of Anna Karenina?
Exquisite taste, Doctor. Tolstoy, to answer the question.
We thought you might enjoy that one. Thank you again. Question 4. Where were the 2016 Olympics held?
Rio, and you Swology bastards stole the gymnastics medals from us, if you ask me.
Well, it's clear we can breathe a little easier now that it is understood that the meshing of universes happen to a pair that are not so different from each other, and thank God.
I apologize, Dr. Ulibari, but could you explain what you just said again?
The meshing of our 2 universes. It helps the situation knowing that most of the significant facts are the same. We only differentiate in probably extremely minute ways.
I apologize again, Doctor, but did you just say universes in a plural?
Why, yes. It is apparent that the parallel multiverse we theoretically debated in the realm of quantum science is in fact real and affecting us at this very moment.
This quantum science and multiverse, is this what has happened?
Well, it has to be. Based on your team's findings in 2008, this matches the model you created almost exactly. We have a Fokina collision, and it's truly astounding.
Dr. Ulibarri, my team found nothing in 2008. I'm honestly lost within your words. We found evidence of a multiverse?
Doctor, in 1998, when two teams of astronomers found that the universe was expanding at an accelerating rate, what happened to their information?
Are you talking about... Wait, I remember them faintly. We threw that information out as a joke. The dark energy findings?
Yes, the Adam Reese findings. Dear God.
You're saying this was correct? Не может быть.
It was, in fact. It helped open our world to the idea of a multiverse. Doctor, may I ask, what field of science do you currently specialize in?
Theoretical astronomy.
Not quantum science?
No. It'd be...
Wait, how much of an issue is it? I mean, they're a few years behind scientifically, but everything else fits fine.
I came to the school for the quantum major they had. They were one of the only ones in the country.
That doesn't affect you. We knew it was gonna be weird knowing our lives are different out here.
She met Sawyer here.
He took that internship with a Russian team in the Middle East, working on that astronomy I told you guys about. If they don't know that science, then there's no team for him to work with.
He's not there.
He's lost.
Like puking? Like nausea is running through your body at the moment?
You know what I mean. I just can't take any more of this consumerism being shoved down my throat.
You do understand that I picked Cinnamon Toast Crunch solely based on the fact that I like it in the mornings.
What's wrong with the generic version? It's exactly the same and cheaper. Win-win.
I don't know, there's just something about cinnamon toasters that doesn't, excite me to wake up in the morning.
Hey, if you want to feed into the big corporation's propaganda and become a capitalistic robot, be my guest.
Well, in that case, I'll be a happy robot. I'm on my way to making you into my beautiful robotic bride.
Shut up.
Think about it. It'll be great. We'll serve motor oil at the reception, save money there, instead of buying booze. We'll have everyone solder our motherboards instead of throwing the bouquet. We'll need updates anyway, so may as well take advantage of it.
You would have to rewire me of any chance of marrying an idiot like you.
Oh yeah? Let's just say I have a decently priced ring in my pocket. I tumble over there, fall on one knee, look up at you, and say some words that rhyme with Barry B, and you're going to say that because of my low IQ score, your answer is no? Huh. Interesting.
Sawyer, you have a ring?
This robot's not in the right condition to answer that question. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go take this hormone-injected ground beef and make some burgers.
Sawyer, come here. Do you really want to marry me?
Am I going to? That's still up in the air, being tossed around by the debating spirits of the free world, but do I want to? More than anything in this enormous world, I do want to marry you, Miss Campbell-Rosa.
Odds are, since you're reading this, I screwed up in a pretty solid way. Better odds are that I have no clue what I did. Hopefully, that got a quick laugh out of you.
But Cam, I'm serious. While writing this, I have no clue what could have transpired between us, but I do know one thing.
The only thing that I have been absolutely sure of throughout my entire life is the fact that I love you. No religion comes close to the certainty that you are the perfect person for me. My mom told me I was crazy when I picked out a ring about a month into our relationship, but she couldn't understand.
Why wait for the inevitable? Why should I sit back and watch the world flip upside down, waiting for a moment to establish that I want to spend eternity with you?
I want the Buddhists to be right so that when we're reborn, I can find you and fall in love with you again and again until the end of time. I want Christianity to be right so that I can be by your side in paradise. I even want the atheists to be right so that we can lay next to each other in our graves and decompose only to blossom into a tree that through our love creates life and sustains a world for our children's children to find love. I just want to be with you. I'm tearing up while writing this because I know it's going to happen at some point. We're going to hit a wall that will seem impenetrable when it happens. But I know whatever force exists, whatever God created us, made me feel this way in order to assure that I do everything in my power to keep us together. Whatever it is, I promise there is a way to fix it. And until then, when we can be side by side for all of eternity, understand that I love you. Soy.
I hate you.
Then the TV went static. No signal. So I decided to walk out on the street. My feet walked a circle, a cul-de-sac. I was in a wheel, so I decided to peel away. Another door was opened, so I walked inside. I sat myself down and began to watch TV. Then the TV went static. No signal. So I decided to walk out on the street. My feet walked a circle, a cul-de-sac. I was in a wheel, so I decided to peel away. Another door was opened, so I walked inside. I sat myself down and began to watch TV. Then the TV went static. No signal. So I decided to walk out on the street. My feet walked a circle, a cul-de-sac.
No.
I was in a wheel, so I decided to peel away.
What we're really asking.
Another door was opened, so I walked inside. I sat myself down and began to watch TV.
Campbell, I'd be lying if I said I had any clues how you could handle this. But you gotta know, we love you, Cam. All is not lost. You're beautiful, you're sharp, you're willing to understand people, and intelligent. Possibly too intelligent for your own good. But you gotta know, you're stronger than this whole fucked up situation. You're stronger than this.
You ever wonder how advice works? People are always willing to give advice to others because it's easy. It's easy to put yourself in someone else's shoes and determine their situation, determine what they should do. But then you hear, I should take my own advice, or I can help others, but I can't help myself. You know why? We're all searching for our own truths, dealing with our own shit and thinking about ourselves, for ourselves, to ourselves. We all live in completely different worlds, and they're all impossible to figure out. When your mom died, Val, I I didn't talk to you because I didn't want to try and accomplish something in your life that I can't accomplish in my own. We're all searching for a meaning, an understanding of why we're here, and we're all failures. We can't figure it out because it's not meant to be figured out. The world is never against you. It's never for you. It is you. The world's not vast. It's micro, existing within our own consciousness. I'm not broken, and you can't fix me. I'm gone. My world just doesn't exist.
I'm starting to see why bio was never your thing.
First of all, I got a 5 on the AP test, and second, what does my rendition of Jack Torrance's station wagon have to do with bio?
Oh my gosh, never mind that statement. I definitely thought that was a double helix. I amend my statement to be why art was never your thing.
Alright, let's see what you got, Monet.
It's a man in the state of paranoia after discovering his wife's infidelity.
Bullshit! You tried to draw a man and gave up halfway through.
You are so analytical. Try to escape that high security prison you have your mind in and understand my masterpiece here.
You are so full of it. That's the fallacy of intent.
Excuse me, sweetheart. The fallacy of intent doesn't apply here. I'm the artist, so I get to say whatever the hell I want about the meaning and motive.
You take one upper-level art course and suddenly you're a versed critic?
Excuse me, I took 2, remember? They counted museum studies as one.
Obviously, I'm not in my terrain here.
You are outmatched in both ability and cognitive capacity. It's really quite sad.
Okay, I know I say this a lot, but I want you to know how much I mean it here. I hate you.
So, when do you think you're gonna venture to 2417 Meadow Street with me?
Is that the church?
Is it? Well, since you asked, what do you think? Oh. Hey, you did say you were going to go, and that's a gentleman's agreement, which can be held up in a court of law.
I don't get what the big deal is. If I go, I'm just going to be making incredibly cynical comments the entire time.
I know, but I just feel like if you're there, I don't know, you'll be closer.
What? God?
Yeah. There's just this feeling that you get there that you don't get anywhere else. And since you've never been, I don't know, it might spark something for you. It might open your eyes.
You really want me to believe
I want you to be there when it's over. I want the security at night, knowing that our time isn't limited to this time on the little blue marble.
But that's the thing. Our time here, that's what gives me security.
How?
Knowing that our time here, if it's not wasted if we spend it together. But if we have an eternity, then why should we be together now? We have no urgency, no need. We have plenty of time.
Well, depending on who's wrong, we may have made a huge mistake.
Let's make it the most beautiful mistake in the world.
I'd still rather have a big cat. Like if I could own a cheetah, a tiger, that would be sick. That would be.
Cam,
Sorry.
we gotta figure out what our next move is. Well, I got into contact with Jake and them from school, and they're out drinking to celebrate the scientific milestone.
Celebration or lamentation, I could really use a drink right now.
I don't have anything here. I threw it all away when you described me as a piece of human litter that was being pulled into a whiskey and vodka-induced rip current.
I swear, every time you talk, it's like I'm reading the Times.
Look, in retrospect, I probably crossed a boundary there, but a lot of the greats drank themselves to brilliance.
A lot of them died from it. We don't need alcohol. We just have to figure out what our best move is from here on out.
I think We should find some people that we know, meet up with them maybe. I need some shred of normalcy right now.
What do you think, Cam?
You guys can go. I think that's the smartest idea.
And what's Campbell gonna do?
Campbell is going to find a way to fix this.
Cam, I mean, what can you do? It's not like you can find him, right?
Up until this point, you'd be correct, but in case you haven't noticed, everything we thought we knew about science has kind of been flipped on its ass, so I'm open to a new idea.
But everything you told us, this lines up with that. You guys knew about this before it even happened.
That's the thing about theoretical science. We understand it until it occurs, and then we have to figure out what actually happened.
So what if there's no way?
Cam, you can't spend the rest of your life trying to find something that can't be found.
Maybe it's not in this life. There are so many other worlds where we're together, and we're happy as can be, and where I didn't fuck everything up. Why this one? Why am I this me? Why can't I feel the things that the other ones are feeling? You did this! Why did you do this? You drove him there and you helped push him away from me.
Cam!
I helped a friend. We've been through this.
No, you took away my second chance. You just needed someone else to be depressed with you.
Fuck you.
And that's why you waited so long to tell me. Because you needed the high from telling me. You loved the sadness.
I wanted you to find out on your own.
No, you wanted to see what I'd look like, what I'd do, what I'd say. You just needed some inspiration so you could write another shitty play.
Campbell!
You know what? You deserve it. You deserve all of this. That's why it's you. That's why you're this you. Because only this version of yourself could push everyone away and fuck yourself this badly. It's not fate, Cam. It's not everything else making decisions for you. It is you! Stop asking why. Stop pretending like you're the only one. You destroyed Sawyer. And now you're the victim? You don't get a second chance. We don't get second chances. I don't get to see my mom. And now you don't get to see him. You cut things off with him, and now you're seeing what happens when you make decisions. You don't deserve to be with him in this life, and that's why you can't.
Of all the philosophical bullshit you've beaten into us throughout the past years, I never talked. I never said what I thought. My grandmother used to tell me a bunch of parables. One stuck. I was around 8. She sat me down one night. The Sioux Indians believe their creation to have happened by the hands of their creator. When their creator was finished with the world, he gathered all his creations and explained that there was something he wanted to hide from humanity. The eagle pitched taking you to the moon. The creator replied, "You'll make it there someday." The salmon thought to put it at the bottom of the ocean. The creator replied, "You'll make it there as well." The buffalo said to bury it in the Great Plains. But the creator explained, "They will skin the face of the earth, and they'll find it someday." Finally, the mole, who has no physical eyes but spiritual eyes, said to put it inside of them, for they will never find it. And even if they do, they won't believe it to be true. The creator agreed and did just that.
What was it? What was he hiding?
The realization that they create their own reality.
Soy, I really can't talk right now.
I know, but you haven't been able to talk in a solid amount of days now, and I just wanted to see what's up.
Well, we're working and I can't talk. That's about it.
Well, the planner called and said that we have to put a down payment in as soon as possible, and since I have yet to ask you, I thought tonight would be good. But act like you forgot I said that, so it's a surprise when you tell me.
I can't tonight, Sawyer.
I know you can't tonight, but where do you think you'll end up sleeping so that I cannot be there to ask you?
Have you even been watching the news? This is everything we've been studying and working for. I can't, and I mean it, cannot do it tonight.
It's only evidence of the existence of a multi. I know it's big, but it's not like our lives depend on you finding the equations and map them out. It can wait. This is important.
How can you even compare the importance of these two? You asking me is nowhere near as important as what's going on here.
I'm ignoring that. You're cranky. I'll see you tonight at your place.
No, Sawyer! Sawyer.
Cam, oh shit. Let me set up. Go back outside. What time is it?
It's 3:45, and no, I want to go to bed.
What? No, Cam, it'll be really quick. Tonight's the night.
Not tonight.
It'll be really quick. Don't worry. Just humor me. It'll take like 3 minutes tops.
Please, Sawyer, just not tonight.
What? Why not tonight?
So I don't know what my answer is going to be.
I mean, if you need more time, that's okay. I can wait. I just thought it was time.
I don't think I'm ever going to be ready. I love you, but I think we have incredibly different definitions of what that means.
Everything we said, everything we ever did, where's the lack of clarity? I want to spend the rest of eternity with you.
And that kills me. No matter what you do, I'm never going to believe what you want me to. And if what you think is true, our afterlives, they're not going to be spent together.
You don't have to convert. We established that from day one, but if this is the only time that we both believe in, I want to spend that time with you.
I love you so much that I believe you, and your faith is right, and you're gonna go to heaven. But I don't want you to waste your time here and not find your true match, and then spend the rest of eternity searching for the one person you were supposed to be with this whole time. I can't do that to you.
No one is wasting their time, Cam. You're my everything. You're my world. You're my match.
You don't know that. You've only met but a small portion of this entire world. There's someone else. There's someone better. Someone who's gonna be with you forever.
Cam, I wouldn't have these feelings. God wouldn't have made me feel this if it wasn't a sign.
We've learned so much from each other, but I could never come to terms with myself if I held you back from happiness. You don't need me. You need someone better, someone who's going to believe with you. So please don't ask me so that this doesn't have to be an ending. I don't want to say no.
Campbell Rosa, please. Please, will you marry me?
Please don't make me say it.
will you make me the happiest set of molecules to ever inhabit this planet?
Please swear.
I just need an answer.
No.
So I decided to walk out on the street. My feet walked in a circle, a cul-de-sac.
No.
I was in a wheel, so I decided to wheel away.
What we're really asking.
Another door was opened, so I walked inside. I sat myself down and began to watch TV. Then the TV went static.
No.
No signal.
I'm just not buying it.
So I decided to walk out on the street. My feet walked in a circle, a cul-de-sac. I was in a wheel, so I decided to wheel away. Another door was opened, so I walked inside. I sat myself down and began to watch TV.
I sit here writing this, not as a way out, but a branch off of the path I had previously been on. Through the recent events, it has brought me to a point that I never thought I would be. A point or a moment of faith. The word alone still gives me the chills. It's a word that everything I have ever learned up until this point would immediately disregard it. But logic is no longer needed in a time where the unimaginable has happened, and this is just that. About 2 weeks after you and I officially split, I was finishing the report of the lab work we had completed the months beforehand. I felt so lonely that I went to Top's Diner just so that I could hear voices other than mine. While I was sitting there, a man noticed me and eventually sat down across from me. I had a rush of melancholy flood through my body. I didn't feel upset or unsafe, but I felt like something was wrong. I had read these stories when I was younger. Stories of people meeting who they thought was the devil, just in everyday life. They had no reason to believe this other than the feeling it gave them. They described it as paralyzing almost every time. I knew immediately that this was that. I was sitting across from Satan. I have no clue what his motive was, but it made no difference to me. I had to get out of the conversation. I pushed him away and was faintly rude to him. He sensed this, and after a quick discussion of what I was doing, he said something that stained my memory. He said, "Sometimes we use what we hate to replace the things we love, just so that we weep. We're attracted to the pain." He tipped his hat with this sinister stare, and then I got sick and couldn't look at a model or equation for the next week. So while I was dealing with the realization of what had just occurred, I felt gravitated to the Bible your parents got me on our 2nd anniversary. I read it, not as a literary critic, but as an open mind. I started to gain hope. It made me feel good inside, almost like when we would be together. I turned not into a believer, but someone with faith. Faith that maybe we didn't know everything.
Knew the family.
Excuse me?
Kid that offed himself. His pops used to come by more often than not. One swing on the mum cleared him up real quick. She used to bring me a basket of shit every few months for not serving him. Had the kid when he cleaned up.
He ever come in here? He said he was 23.
Once actually. His 21st birthday, I think. His dad wanted to show him what he'd beat. You know, the land he had conquered.
Strange dynamic. Depression?
I'm sorry?
The kid, was he depressed?
I heard he got fed up by a priest over on 17th when he was real young. Not sure how much validity comes along with that, but
but I bet it screwed him up in the head. Religion will make anyone a nut. I keep that at home. Mm-hmm. Listen to sermons online. No need for all that ceremonial bullshit.
Amen.
Bow, come on. We gotta leave.
Oh, cool. Are we going to Jake's house?
No, come on. We're gonna go see Cam. Let's go. Come on.
That faith turned into immediate regret. Within weeks, I had stared into the eyes of evil and pushed away the only good that I had ever seen. My regret, though, was uncorrectable. I couldn't go back to you and explain that I thought maybe I believed in everything you had tried to install in me, but now you have to really win me over and close the deal. I couldn't do that. I had to wait and see if what I was feeling was for real. Every day, my mind ran through everything we had done, everything we had been through together. Whenever I saw a map of the universe, I could just see you playing with that tennis ball and distracting me in my office. Every model shape for a string that I saw, my mind went to when you broke your sister's violin bow and tried to pull it back together. And every time I was in the cafeteria, I played through when you asked me to formal sophomore year. You were so dumb that you messed up when I ate lunch, so I looked back and saw you standing in the dining hall holding about 1,000 balloons, frantically looking around for me. No matter what it was, it reminded me that you weren't just my perfect match, but my entire world. You had meshed into my own reality and created a new one between us. We shared more than love, but a world. A world that I couldn't repair unless I found the full faith. And only now do I understand. The belief that you wanted me to have, the faith in spending eternity with you. Only now, when we're separated by a vastness that cannot be conquered. Only now can I love you and allow myself to be happy. But alas, it is too late.
There's no way.
You know her mind works. She's at the only way. Campbell! You can't do this. It's not gonna give you what you want, Cam.
Cam, please.
What if he came back? What if he took a trip back? There's so many ways it's gonna happen. Cam, please.
And I will never see you again in this world. And that thought cripples me. I can't wait to meet you again.
Then the TV went static. No signal. So I decided to walk out on the street. My feet walked a circle. A cul-de-sac. I was in a wheel, so I decided to peel away.
What are really asking?
Another door was opened, so I walked inside. Sat myself down and began to watch TV. Then the TV went static. No signal. So I decided to walk out on the street. My feet walked a circle. A cul-de-sac. I was in a wheel, so I decided to peel away. Another door was opened, so I walked inside. I sat myself down and began to watch TV.